Hi, and welcome to Music Box first ever podcast series. You're tuning in to me, Ameerah, and today I have two guests for y'all today. And here they are.
Hello, I'm Dhruv. I'm the head of training for MV. Was the head of training last year as well, and I play the guitar.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Denise, the ex-president of Music Vox, and the year before that, I was also the vice president as well. I'm a vocalist, and I've just graduated from TP in April.
That's super cool. Like I said, my name's Ameerah. I am the head of publicity this year. I was the subcom head of publicity last year, and I'm currently a year 3 and I'm a vocalist. So that's pretty cool. So one thing that all of three of us have in common is that we're rerunners for committee. So it kind of shows how committed and how loyal we are for Music Box. And I just wanted to open the floor to just, for the listeners to know what Music Box essentially is. So any takers?
So Music Vox is basically a CCA in Temasek Polytechnic. And before the pandemic started, Music Vox actually mainly focuses on performing on stage as a live band, either in an acoustic setup or a rock setup. But now, since the pandemic happened, we are actually transitioning to having more originals and, boosting our songwriters. Yeah. So that's what MV is today. Dhruv, do you have anything to add?
Until last year, we used to mainly do covers. So when I joined MV, when Ameerah and I joined MV, it was mainly covers and not a lot of original content. Until last year, when we couldn't go back to the studios and jam with the band. So last year we started more of original songwriting stuff, and you can see that with our EP out on Spotify, Apple Music, and
nice plug.
Ameerah, what's the name of our EP?
Our EP is titled Beginning, so you can actually listen on our Spotify, Apple, and Deezer music. It's just called Beginnings by TP Music Box.
Take a listen.
Okay, so I think also we should have mentioned that our CCA is pretty huge. We're one of the bigger population. We have 100 right now. I think right now we have 99. If I'm not wrong. We have 99 and we have 7 sections going on. So we have guitar, we have keys, drums, bass, vocalists, songwriters, and production. So essentially we have a lot of things going on for everyone, and we try our best to make sure that everybody gets the equal amount of opportunities. And definitely with this coming year, because everything is shifted online still, we have more opportunities because we have things coming up. So Dhruv, do you want to just share about what was your pre-COVID days like?
Okay, so when I joined the CCA, it was mainly jamming, as I mentioned. So we used to go back to the school once or twice a week, go to our studios, and just work on ways to making songs better. One thing that my seniors and what my band did was we never took a cover song and just learned that and played that for the sake of it. We try to make things better. So that's another thing in MV. We don't just rip off artists, but we try to add our own flavor to it. That's something.
Tell your own version.
Yeah, we used to do. Yeah. Originality.
So Denise, how was it like for you?
I think for me, as someone that has been in the generation that has performed on stage before, whenever we perform on stage, MV is always very hardcore. Sometimes when we have performances, we would come in the studios maybe every day from 6 to 9 p.m. We're there every day and we're practicing and doing our best. I know, right? But we're doing our best to perform, and then no amount of pre-recording or things like that would compared to performing live on stage.
For sure.
I feel like some of us here have performed on stage before, and it's truly different from recording at home, because you feel like the adrenaline and you can see and perform to people that you know, your family, your friends. So I think that's a feeling that I really miss, and I know that y'all miss as well.
Yeah, I think I truly miss, like what you said, like the family and friends coming down, because like I grew up in a family that was really supportive. So like all my performances, they would always be there. My dad would come with like cameras and all, right? So it's like I told my father like, oh, I need to go in the studio in the lab because I've got a check to like record. And then my dad was like, okay. So like getting my dad to listen to it, it's just like, okay lor. But like he didn't really get to see me perform. But at the same time, one thing that's, if you think about it, right, like pre-recorded, like, you know, if you're just like on that day, you're just having a mood, like a emo mood, right? Then like I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to something like again or something that's on our EP track. So it's really nice because you have like a tangible thing, like something that you can listen to in 10 years down the road.
Yes.
So it's like there's two feelings, you know, because it's like cool being in the recording booth. You know, we have a couple of studios in school. We have 2 studios, Studio 10 and Studio 11, and then we have Lab 3, which is where we record our stuffs. It's cool because like at 19, like, you know, you don't see other like normal students going in and then like, you know, singing with
industry grade stuff.
Yeah, like singing on a $5,000 mic, $5,000 mic. Like that's mad. But then at the same time, like I want to sing and perform in front of like 500 people, you know, 500 texts. But, you know, it happens. But I think it's really nice that at least all of us got the chance to, you know, had our fair share of like performances as well as like recording live. So like how was recording like tracks for the both of you?
Dhruv, do you want to start?
All three of us have had a fair share of performances online and recordings, because all three of us recorded for the EP, which is very cool. So yeah, I think recording was a bit weird to me personally, because the first thing we recorded that I was part of was the National Day concert last year for TP. And yeah, Ameerah was there in it as well. And it was weird, man. The shift from just learning a few chords, going on stage performing, or like being in the studios personally with each other just jamming and then performing. And as compared to like the National Day thing where it was almost a 7-minute medley of songs, I think.
It was 7 minutes.
And it took a while. It was a wild ride because we were straight up we had to learn ourselves how to record properly. Then we had our alumni pick, a keyboard.
Shout out to Pick. Hi, Pick.
Yeah, shout out to Pick. He helped us mix and master, and he was a keyboardist as well. So it was just, even in his era, he didn't really get to record much. So it was new for the alumni as well as us, getting to know what goes on behind recording and stuff. But when we came down to Lab 3 recording was fun. It was a lot of fun because we saw each other in person finally. We had Nigel guiding us. Nigel's our advisor, by the way. Shout out to Nigel as well.
Hi, Nigel.
He helped us with stuff. Hi, Nigel. He helped us learning how to record, what goes on in actual recording. And I think that's when it became fun than a task for us.
It was like educational in that sense.
Yeah. Very cool.
Denise, what about you?
I think for me, everybody knows that I am the opposite of tech savvy. So recording at home was excruciating for me because I didn't know, I had no experience with like any software. I had mics at home, but it was just for my Filipino karaoke. But like I didn't know how to record properly. And it was so hard because I'm in a house and there are so many like white noise that you have to cancel out, and you have dogs barking, you have your brother shouting in the other room because he's playing games. It's so hard to just record at home. So I think we're very blessed that like at the half of the year last year, we were able to get back to the studios and record for the EP. I feel like without that, we might not have released any album last year.
We couldn't go back to the studios and see each other like in person and just play in the
Yes.
studios. It would have been hella difficult.
And like take turns.
Really insanely difficult.
But you know what's the like most interesting thing was that when Dhruv was recording National Day, he was in India. He was not in Singapore. So I don't know about the time difference. I think there was like some like time difference, right? Like
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours? Oh my god, I forgot about that.
But that was like completely sick that this fella is recording and then like he had to do video recording as well. And no one knew that he was not in Singapore. So that's the good part, you see, because if this was gonna happen like in real life, like on stage, like you wouldn't have that opportunity and like you wouldn't be able.
I couldn't be there,
Yeah, exactly. And like Dhruv is on this like streak where he wants to perform for all 3 national days. And we're trying to make that happen for him. You know? But it's like super mad to know that like because of like the situation and the circumstance in which is a pandemic, right, we have to like make do, and because we want to stay relevant and we want to make sure that like content is still out, we will make it happen. You know, we find like resources. And I think one thing about MV is that, or just basically most of like TP art CCA, is that we really stress on the importance of like having alumni on board. Like it could be for us, it could be for any other CCA, but we try our best to still stay connected because you know you spend 3 years of your life doing something that you love, which is music, and you know that passion and that love never dies. So we want to like, you know, still connect with them. And like, you know, we're still connecting with Denise. We still have like Falin on, and they come back as our instructor, you know. So like it's cool. So you know, like, and sometimes we can be on Discord with our alumni, and then they'll probably like ask us like what's up, what we're doing. And I think it's a really nice thing because it's not about professional wise, like music wise, we're good, but it's also a family. Essentially, we're a big family. But you know, everybody cares for each other. We just want each of us to be the type of musician that we want to be and try to like get them to their end goal. You know, do y'all feel the same way?
It's a constant building process throughout the 3 years. So like I don't know anyone, I haven't spoken to anyone in year 3 who says like, oh yeah, I'm the same as that I was in year 1. Somehow in some way MV has helped everyone that who's gone through it.
That's you definitely grow in MV. Yeah, I would say like when I was in year 1, I was so shy. I was so quiet. I never thought I would ever take up a leadership position. And the fact that like I was in a leadership position for 2 years is insane to me. And the fact that
not just leadership,
the two of them here.
You're president, Denise.
Oh yes, president. Yes, and it's nice to know that there are other people that truly love MV and that would choose to like rerun and, you know, make the CCA better even after, you know, going through it for 1 year. Like, I don't know, nobody knows how tough it is to be a comm member other than community members itself. So I really salute to y'all for rerunning and going through this all over again.
The same, Denise.
And it's probably because we do what we do is because we kind of like saw Denise. Denise has always been like our role model, right? So it's more like because Denise had it harder, you know? And like now, because we have like a stronger support as well, then we're like, you know, we can go through this. And it's because like, you know, like the people in our CCA are always like encouraging us and like validating that it's really been tough for us. That's why they try to help as much as they can. So I guess it's really like the environment that you're in, it's something that it's like undescribable. Like, you know, it's like a warm, fuzzy feeling like
it's
inside.
Also a feeling of success. Like last year after the concert where we released our
yes.
like the proper launch. At the end of that concert, I remember there was a credit roll in the live stream, so everyone was quiet for like those 30 seconds. But as soon as the credit roll ended, you can hear people shouting and just screaming and celebrating. We're done. Yeah, like we finished recording this album, put up a great concert, and just that feeling of achievement, it like motivates you to rerun and do it one more time. just one more time, and then you're good.
You're done.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you're good.
Okay, since we have actually like kind of described the feeling of a music box is like, so what was your role actually like last year? What did y'all have to do?
I was the head of training, as I said. So it was just making sure everyone's like learning something, everyone's doing good, and kind of quality checking all the performances and all the musical output of MV. And it was fun. I learned quite a lot, had a lot of fun, and chose to do it again this year.
Good job, Dhruv.
What about you,
Yep.
Denise?
Okay, for me, like I said, I think is it 2019? I was the vice president, and then I decided to rerun in 2020, and that's when I was their president. Like Ameerah and Dhruv was actually in my committee, and it was a pleasure working with them. Honestly, my role as president was to make sure that my committee was like everyone on my committee was in the same page. Just to let everybody know, we had quite a big committee. We had 11 members in our com, and it was very hard at the first half of the year because we didn't meet for the first half of the year. It was insane how I was working with people for half a year without even seeing them in real life. But we tried to make do with like calls and like teams. Like we tried to call each other quite often.
Weekly
So
meetings.
weekly meetings.
Yeah.
So when we were able to meet each other finally, it was so nice. Like I cannot describe what it felt like because it felt like from then on we bonded a lot more because you can physically see each other working and things like that. It was super fun meeting y'all in real life.
And like the
yeah.
after Prata, like the Prata session. It's like a music box ritual.
You want to explain what that is?
Everyone knows it.
I'm not the best person. I don't go.
Yeah, I mean, you've been missing out. So ever since when I joined MV, our seniors, so my seniors we used to go to this paratha place opposite to school, and we went there after almost every jamming session.
Yes.
But 9 p.m. is like standardized. No one even asks like where they're going next. They just start walking towards that place.
Yeah.
And towards the end of your like second or third year, everyone there working knows you. They just know your orders and stuff. Like you can be walking outside the restaurant, just say hi, they'll wave back or something. It's the best thing about MV.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that really is. I think for me, what I did last year, it was because I was like the subcom, right? So I was just supposed to like support you guys, and then at the same time, I was working very closely with Dhruv because of like I had to QC like vocals at certain point.
Yeah.
So it's really fun because like because I ended class at like 1 on most like days in my sem 2, and that was when we had to be in the recording booth. So it's like every time like I would always like wait to like see Nigel, and then like okay, then he'll be like, what are we doing today? It's like we're recording like Kai, we're recording a drama. And then it's just like that for the next 5 days. And you know, a lot of people will be like, you know, that's mad, why do you want to do like CCA after school and then, you know, like do it again for the next 5 days?
You gotta do it to know it, like.
But it's
a
because
feeling you can't explain.
Yeah, because you're seeing the process of people like exploring something, people making mistakes, and then, you know, like, you know, trying to get them to like say like, you know, you can do it. So like I guess it's about like empowering, not just empowering, but it's just like being there for them so that they can be better musicians, because, you know, everyone is like helping each other out. And I think that we've all had like our fair share of like bad and good experiences, you know, being in MV, like a personal thing, I guess. So like what were your like bad and like good experiences as like a musician?
Denise, go ahead.
Okay, for me, I think I came into MV not knowing what the standard was. I feel like some of us have no clue what it is. So when I was actually performing, or like when I was practicing for a performance, I realized that like I have so much more room to grow. And honestly, it wasn't easy performing on stage because you're in front of a huge crowd. You're trying to make sure that you're not forgetting your lyrics, not forgetting your moves. So I think that was really hard for me at the very start. But the good thing is that even though like we kind of like say how hard it is to be in the committee, I truly don't regret rerunning nor being in the committee because I got to meet such amazing people, and that like I was able to see you guys grow as well. It wasn't just me that was growing. I could see the people beside me that are working with me grow with me, and it was really cool lah. I think that is the most fruitful thing that I've gained in MV. Yes.
The best experience like would have been around last year December, 2020 December-ish, yeah, because that's when we were back in the studios. We had gotten a hang of recording and it was just insane fun because we were working on original music and everyone's individual musicality was showing up and everyone was finding their own sound. It was insanely cool. And as far as like worst experience, there hasn't really been any, because other people might find practicing like all day, every day bad for an event. I had this one event where we practiced from around 9 to 2 p.m., 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think, or more, on Saturdays. Like
Oh
on
my gosh.
Saturday, we used to practice on Saturdays, like 4 or 5 Saturdays in a row for the event. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Others were bored, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's about it.
Wow, I think mine right was, you know, like White Suns, like back in year 1, White Suns. I had like
yes.
Yeah.
I think I had 10 songs that I had to learn. 10 songs, and it wasn't like you couldn't pick like what song you want to do, so I had to like memorize all 10 songs. And then like it was like at the end, right, I remember like I think one of the core members were like, you know, this is not the standard. So we were in the studio from like morning until the end, like 9 p.m. and then just like searching for like, you know, the best place to put like your attacks for each songs. And then like I don't know, we were just like, it was bad because I mean it was like a 24-hour like, you know, time crunch, right? But it was like nice because like everybody is like, you know, no, we're gonna make this nice.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, come the like performance time, it was nice. And then like what Dhruv said, like last year December, I remember I was recording Back Home to You and Dhruv was recording me. Okay, and like it was like I had to find, you know, like different ways to make it sound nice. And like Dhruv was all like encouraging me like all the time, and you know what, like, no, this is, you can do better. So like I didn't mind staying for like all the way up to 9 o'clock because like I said again, because of the support that you get, and because you know that like at the end of the day something's beautiful is gonna come out, so that's why you want to do it again. So
And your product's going on Spotify, like it's once it's there forever. Like, 40 years down the line, somehow you remember
For
that you
sure.
recorded something and you
Show
want
it
to
to
hear
your
it. You can
kids.
hear it back. Yeah, you can hear it back. Just so it has to be perfect.
And I guess like the good part about like pre-recorded stuff is that like you can always re-record if you feel like you make a mistake. And like, you know, it kind of like shapes you to be like a perfectionist, a good one, like not a like obsessive perfectionist, because there will be a time then you're like, no, this is not good, but everyone says it's good, you don't need to record again. So, you know, you have to like trust the members as well as trusting yourself like with the process. So that's mad. Like thinking about it, like I want everyone to experience the things that we experience, and it may not necessarily be experiencing the things that we did as a core member, but also as a member, because you know this year we've got like a lot of things lined up for you guys, and like we want everybody to be involved as much. So just stay tuned, you guys. I guess. Okay, so my last question. Okay, this is my last question, right? What is that like one thing you have learned throughout your time here in MV?
I gotta sit on this. Dhruv, you can go first.
Yeah. There's always someone better than you. Like 100%. You think you're the best guitarist at one point? Nope. Wrong. You're the alumni, freshie, your same batchman. There's always someone better than you, either inside, out of TP. So like you can't stop learning. And MV helps you learn throughout. So you've got your section leaders, you've got me as the head of training, or Ameerah for vocals. It's just a lot of people there to help you out. So you can't technically ever stop learning in MV. It can get pretty bad. I'm just saying, it can get pretty bad. Where people are straight up like telling you it's not good enough, you can do better. Even when you think it's your best, it's not. You can level up. That's what I learned in MV.
Nice. I think for me, I don't know. There's so much.
You grew so much in MV, Denise. Even from when I saw you in year 1 to now.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I think for me, MV is not just a music CCA. Like, I know there's music in the word, like in our CCA name, but it's not just a music CCA. You don't just learn to be a better musician. You actually become a better person if you are exposed with the best people in MV. I think like you will grow so much as a person. Like I said just now, when I was in year 1, I was so quiet. I was so scared about performing on stage. I didn't know I was able to lead. I basically was the quiet one. But when MV progressed and when I was pushed to my limits to be a leader, I've learned so much from my friends and from my advisor, Nigel, that you don't need to be amazing at music in Music Fox. I feel like if you're someone that is good in other things, for example, video editing, or if you're good in publicity, we're more than welcome. You're more than welcome
Yeah.
to be in
Saxophone,
MV.
banjo, anything goes.
Yes.
Anything works.
Yeah, like I feel that you shouldn't just look at MV as a music CCA. There is so much more to it, and I feel that you guys will figure it out on your own. Yeah. I don't know whether I answered the question right.
I think that was really perfect. Like Dhruv really answered as a HRT standpoint, because that's what he's good at. And for you, that was a really amazing answer. For me, is to trust the process, because I guess coming from someone like I feel like I've got a lot of like internal issues with myself, like confidence wise and all. So it's like when you think that something like, you feel like the journey is like very like it's not pretty, but then because I mean if you feel that it's not pretty, then you're gonna work even harder, right? And then like it's just gonna come out to be to reap off with like something like beautiful. So for me, it's to trust the process as a musician, or even as someone like a Music Box member. So trust the process, because at the end of the day, things are gonna work out just fine because you have people to support you. It's not a one person thing. It's a whole community that they are standing behind you. So if you're gonna mix around with people who love you and who wants the best for you, it will be a pretty looking like end product. And trust that Music Box is that. That's so emotional. Okay, I guess that really like concludes the first episode of our Music Box podcast series pilot episode. So before we leave, this is gonna be a standard thing, a mandatory question that I ask all my guests. Okay, so name me 3 of your favorite albums or songs listeners should listen to. Go.
Dhruv is gonna say John Mayer, I swear.
Obviously, I'm gonna say John. You've known me for obviously.
I know you too well.
My favorite album of John Mayer is The Search for Everything, released in 2017. Very cool album. But the other 2, I'll leave you with artists. So there's this new artist I recently found. 2 weeks ago. She's called Umi, so UMI. Her album Introspection Reimagined. I heard the album first track to last track. No skips, no pauses. A damn good album. And that album is like, it sounds good. Like the songwriting is good, yes. The band is great, but the sound of the album, like the drums of the album and the guitar, just the tone is very nice. So go listen to that.
Nice.
And third is song Anything by Sammy Ray and Friends. There's this band Sammy Ray and Friends. It's really good stuff. Their song Kick It To Me or Just Talk It, it's just real good stuff. And all of these integrate like a traditional band with saxophones or horns. Cool stuff. So go listen to all of that.
Nice. Okay, what about you, Denise?
Okay, I've been listening to a lot of Dua Lipa. I never thought I would get into her, but I don't know what happened to me, but I listened to her song once and I'm hooked. I like her song called Cool. That's like my favorite song.
It's so catchy.
Yeah, it's so catchy and it's so fun.
I'm so sorry.
You have to. Okay, another one is back to my roots. I'm Filipino, so I really like this band called December Avenue. They have very nice like love songs and it's very mellow, it's very chill. And as of right now, my favorite artist is Clinton Kane. No. My favorite artist is Clinton Kane. So he's a very I don't think he's a very well-known YouTuber, but he's still, on the rise. He has this song called Chicken Tendies and it's so cool. Yeah, so if you want some depressing songs, please go to Clinton Kane. How about you, Ameerah?
Okay, I think I'll go like something more local because I listen to a lot of like basic pop, so like Louis Capaldi, Bruno Mars, Adele, that's it. But I'm just gonna like share with you like my favorite like local singers. One of it is Kali. Kali was a Music Box member and she's a good friend of mine. Y'all should listen to her like Sunflower and Paralysis. But I like one when she collaborated with this one guy, but it's called Take It Slow. It's
that's so good.
Super good.
But yeah.
I love Leave Me Here by Fami the MC. I think it's a very sad song. Another one that I found is this guy called Key Zikri. There's this the song is called Parental Advisor, if I'm not wrong. But it's super sad. It gets you on your feel and because I want to support local, I want to listen because it's so amazing, like how they can all the their play of words and things like that. So yeah, y'all should go and listen to it. They are amazing, like local singers, and they should get credited. So good. So yeah, yes. I guess that concludes the end of today's episode. Thank you so much, Denise and Dhruv.
Thank you
for coming down. I just wanted to say that all of this was recorded at the comfort of our own homes. So the audio quality can be quite questionable, but because of the COVID situation, we gotta make do with this. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoy. And if you guys have more like topic recommendations and questions that you want to ask us, you can do so. Follow us on our Instagram at TPMusicBox. And on our bio, we have our link tree with all of like the other things like our socials and our songs and our YouTube channel. So go on there because this podcast series is going to be up on YouTube as well and as on Spotify. So I guess that's it. Bye. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
What is up, everyone? My name is Ameerah and I'll be your host for Music Box First Ever podcast series. We just recorded our pilot episode a few days back, but we've yet to have a name for this series just yet. And this is why we need your help to give us creative name suggestions on what we should call this series. So comment down below, reply to our stories, or even DM us on any creative name suggestions, questions that you'd like us to answer, and topics that you'd like us to discuss on this podcast. We hope that you guys like all the contents that we are churning out just soon. Till then, stay safe and take care. Bye!